Yo, what's up, jazz guitar friends? Larry Temanini here. Jazz guitar under 5 minutes. Hey, how's everybody doing? It's a lovely day here in Bucks County. The weather's just right to be playing some jazz standards. You heard me just taking a little chorus there, spelling out the changes to All the Things You Are. Probably one of the greatest songs ever written, right? And I'm here today to talk about time, rhythm, and feel, specifically feel. You know, when you're learning how to play jazz guitar, there's so many books, there's so many PDFs, there's so many downloadable downloads. You're swimming in charts. You're Chart Blakey in the Jazz Messengers. You probably have drawers and folders and libraries of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that, because if you buy a piece of any kind of music information and you get one thing out of it, that was a good investment. But ultimately, you're going to have to break away from being able to play off the sheet, right? A lot of great guitar players can only play when there's a sheet in front of them. You know, you have to be able to not Ron Burgundy the guitar a little bit and move off script. Now, that is specifically a feel kind of a thing. When you're playing, you kind of have to learn how to hear with your ears and see with your ears too. How is this going to move, right? You know, I picked this song because it kind of moves a lot, right? But it's cool because it does the same kind of pattern. How is this song different from the average AABA song? Well, it's not 32 bars, it's 36 bars. And it doesn't sound like a big difference, but it is a big difference. You really have to plan ahead for those extra 4 bars. Something that you're going to do when you're learning songs, right? And this has a great mix of what I'm going to talk about. Most of the time, when you're going to another chord playing jazz, you got an over two-thirds chance that it's going to be stepwise, right? This is a great example of that, right? I'm going through all my keys pretty much, right? I go from, that's a lot, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. Now, this is the cool part where understanding how form works and what you're playing towards, that C, you know, that's where it doesn't move stepwise. That's where I move up a half step. Now, if 2/3 of playing standards is going to be stepwise, the other 33% is either going to be chromatic movement or what's called non-functional harmony, which is like everything else other than that. Now, you can make a really great case that this is just stepwise, right? Just going down, just a half step, and then you're kind of centering to that C major. For a second, right? Same exact thing happens here. I'm going through this whole cycle, right? You better know your keys. I messed that up, but that's okay, right? And then the same thing happens again. I go up a half step to my new key center, and I'm gonna hang out there again. This one's kind of cool because then it moves in a minor third to here, and then it's gonna take me right back to this cycle, right? This is where learning and understanding and being able to feel that last 4 bars comes in handy. You kind of want to end or start getting ready to end it right there, but that's not really what happens. You have this great sound, 4 to 4 minor, one of the classic chord kind of movements, and then finally, here's your last little bit. It resolves to the major, and again, feeling your way, knowing that it's going to start back on that 6 again, right? It's going to go from that A flat and ultimately take me back to an F minor, restarting the whole cycle. You have to feel it. Now, like I said in the very beginning, I talked about time, rhythm, and feel. 3 very non-tangible elements, right? You can't really gauge how well on paper you have those skills, right? You would agree, or maybe not. When you have great time, can you play a tempo without dragging or speeding up? Sometimes I can speed up. I'd rather speed up than slow down, but you don't want to speed up too much and get on the jazz slalom. And if you have the tendency to speed up and then you're playing an up-tempo song, by the time the song's over, you're going to be not able to play it. Same thing with a slow song or a medium song. Having a great time is really important. And having great rhythm. How are your eighth notes? How are your triplets? Does it feel good? Are people smiling when you're playing? Are people in the band like smiling at you and giving you a thumbs up? Chances are, if that's the case, what you're playing is making everything sound good. If people are like looking at you and giving you like the stare down, I mean, maybe you want to talk about your rhythm and then ultimately feel. And that's pretty much what we're talking about. Being able to break away from the book, right? When somebody hands me a chart where it's not, especially on a standard, where it's not 4 bars lined up symmetrically, I'm automatically going to assume that this person like doesn't have the greatest grip on form, or is like super lazy and just trying to like fit it all in. It's usually a toss-up of one of those two. Personally, when I write on my charts, even the stuff that's not 8 bars, I'm still going to section it out 4 bars, because for me, that's sort of how I process music. That's how I feel music. You have to have a system that ends up working for you. So being able to feel that music's super important. Being able to understand where it's going, feels, where the song is moving. That's how you learn tunes. I mean, that's how you learn how to hear progressions and play them in any key. So time, rhythm, feel, things that you can really work on at home, things that are tough to work on without a text. The only way to really do it is to just keep playing and try to be aware of it, try to make the music sound good, try to make the music feel good, play good time, be a good time, and be on time. If you made it this far, thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate all the awesome support from my amazing subscribers. I'll be in Denver, Arvada, Thursday through Sunday, playing with the great Jimmy Bruno on Thursday night. Then I get to do a LT Jazz Guitar Clinic. It's my second one for Peter Henriksen and Henriksen Amps. And then I'll be playing a duo with my friend Ricardo Grilli, really awesome guitar player from Brazil, New York City. Gonna be super awesome time there. If you're a guitar player and you love jazz guitar, like, you got to come to this event. It's so much fun. There's so many great players. Everybody's super personable. It's so great to see some of these people that you get a chance to interact with online around so many other great guitar players and guitar builders. I mean, really, it's hard to not be a kid in the candy shop out there with all the awesome instruments and great amps that Peter makes, and just fun company. I'll be looking forward to seeing Wayne Goins, Mason, Taylor, all my friends. I mean, it's going to be super exciting to see Frank and Pasquale, and Vinny, and Beth Marlis, Rodney Jones. I mean, like, just a few of the many super talented artists that are going to be there. So, all right, jazz guitar friends, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate all the support. Keep swinging. Bebop.